Hey, there we go. It's too early in the morning. Hi, guys. Welcome to the final chapter of our build here with the Haunted Mansion. Excuse me. Ugh. So, we're going to adjust this a little bit. Let's see how this looks. Okay. So, we got it done. Okay. So, we're going to go through today, and I want you to get a good look. You see in the middle of the picture there, that is our Haunted Mansion itself. I turned all the lights off. Okay. Now the camera, as good as it is, I mean it's an iPhone. It's picking up most of the Haunted Mansion itself. You'll notice I have some LEDs. These are the nano green LEDs. They are from Woodland Scenics. I've adapted them to be used with a power distribution hub, okay, which is not a Woodland Scenics one, although they do make one for their own product. I found out theirs isn't universal, okay, like the plug that you see that comes with them is a JST, but theirs is a JST type, okay, it's not a JST. So it's slightly bigger than a normal JST would be, which, okay, I get it. They're trying to sell you their other products to go with it. It happens, okay? But being the, how would you say, adaptive person that I can be, I just cut the plugs off, strip the wires, and plug them in where they would go for any other one. Now you notice I don't have the sound on, uh, maybe because it's early in the morning. Plus the fact that I want to be able to talk, and you can just see what the effect is. It looks pretty cool. Um, I will turn the lights on here in just a minute. But getting back to the LEDs, so there's 4 LEDs total, okay, that go into that distribution hub, which is tapping from the outside rail, like I showed you way back in, I guess, was episode 2. Uh, so that is drawing power directly from the trak. It will always be lit, and I don't have to worry about it. The only thing I have to worry about is the iPad. And this is the actual uh, video that's going to play the entire time when I have it out at a train show. This runs for 9 hours and 20 minutes, which is, like I said, if I got there at a train show and the train show runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's 8 hours, and setup time starts at 8 in the morning, as it usually does in Altoona. I get there at 8 o'clock. I still got 20 minutes left over until I shut it off, which is not a big deal. So there is more than enough time on there for it to run completely to the end of the show, any day of the show. The only time I would run into any kind of problems if I took it somewhere where we're running 12 hours. Okay, so I got to restart it. Big deal. Once. Uh, but that's going to be rare, if at all. So what we have, okay, you see the video is playing, and I have the glasses installed. We're going to go over that in just a minute when I turn the lights on. But the 4 LEDs, you got 2 are in the Haunted Mansion itself, and 2 that are out there in the front. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, like I said, the camera, as good as it is, doesn't pick up all the lighting is if I look at it right now in the dark, it looks creepy and it looks cool. Okay, I'm sorry it doesn't light up enough as much as I would hope it would. But I'm going to go and I'm going to turn the light on, so I'll just be off camera for just a second here as we turn the lights on. Okay, so now you can see exactly what we have here. So here's our glass that we've installed. Now what I did was on each one of these pieces of wood that you see going up here, it is glued with some of this Gorilla Glue for wood, okay, because it's construction adhesive. And it was going, excuse me, oh, that was bad. It looked like it was going to stay, okay. Now it is attached to the glass with Velcro, okay. So there's two Velcros, one strip on either side, and it looked to me like it was going to stay. I just didn't have a warm fuzzy feeling about it. So I went and drilled a small hole on both sides and just put a screw in there. And I'm debating whether or not to leave it. It's not hurting it. If I did leave it, it actually would help. But that adhesive really is good adhesive, and it's not supporting a whole lot of weight. So we'll see. Okay, I don't know. Right now, I think it's going to be just fine. I may end up covering this. I've looked at some, I think it's a cloth covering, if I'm not mistaken, to go around the perimeter and a little bit on the top here, just to, take away, make it a little bit more decorative kind of thing. Now I will show you what I've done. Now let's move the camera in. Oops, I'm sorry guys. Let me move the camera in. Try and get this to go right. And we'll drop it down a little bit. Okay, so now you can see, if I get this camera right. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Excuse me. So I was looking at this before I did the final assembly. I looked at it and I was like, okay, I've got my spooky trees are in there. I've got my ground cover. I've got all this built up around it. I was like, it needs something. And I was like, I can't quite put my finger on what it would be. So I thought about it, and I came up with what goes with, like if you watch, pick your horror movie, doesn't matter. If they're at a place where it's a haunted house, those are the biggest thing, of course. What's one of the the factors that go into something like that? I mean, what do you think of? Well, a fog is one of the things that comes to my mind. Yes, you have the eerie lights, but then you have that fog that just adds to the mood. So I was like, okay, well, can't use fog machine, can't use a smoke generator. I mean, I could, but I'm not really hip on those smoke generators to begin with. Matter of fact, all of my steam locomotives, they're turned off, and if and when I want to use one, it's rare. I just wanted to have the capability, but I'm not going to sit there and have intentionally do a smoke generator to this. Plus, then you got something else you got to, constantly filling it back up again. So I didn't want to bother with that. The easiest and simplest way was polyfiber fill. Okay, now this is the same stuff that you would go and, if you have a pillow or seat cushion, something like that, stuffed animal, that's what's in 99% of whatever's out there now. Very few people use the cotton stuff anymore. And so I took that, stretched it out pretty thin, and just placed it. Now, it's not really secured in there. There is one part where it is, like right here, it's glued to the ground. But I'm not going to take this glass out. Not generally. I could, in theory, because it's on, it's attached with only the Velcro and it'll pop off. But generally speaking, I'm not going to be detaching this and reattaching the glass all the time, if at all. And the cover doesn't come off because it's screwed into place, plus there's all kinds of senior material around it, so it's not going anywhere either. So what I did is just laid it in there and it stayed. I mean, it's fine. It works just great. So I put that in there, and that simulates our fog. Okay. So the next thing I did, and you can see here in the front, we have a fence line that stretches across with our gate here in the middle, and that leads to the path that goes up to the door with the steps. Okay, so I went and put down some glue. Okay, spread it out with a brush a little bit, and then just went over it with gravel. Okay, that's it, just a plain gravel. Now I may go and take some of my weathering pigments and just touch up here and there, make some changes to it. I don't know yet. I'm going to look at it over the next few weeks and make some adjustments here and there. But I think overall that path is done, and it looks pretty good. There's also a little bit, it's hard to tell now, but in the front here, let me just move you guys up a little bit so we can get a better look, see. Bring it down. Okay, so up here in the front, you notice there's a little bit of difference. That's the same material that's inside. So when I did the ballast, okay, the ballast overlaps the path. So it's a path that's probably, well, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet wide, maybe, give or take. So it's not drastic, but it's a difference. You can see there is a difference between the gate, where the path is, and the ballast. Okay, now the ballast, we've done this before. The ballast is glued down. I went and sprinkled down along both sides of it, and some in the middle here, not a lot. Excuse me. So it blends in pretty good, I think, and you look at it next to the tornado module that I did. Well, let's so you can see that actually goes and blends fairly well. Okay, let's go back here. So out here on the outer edge. Okay, now underneath here and under here, and well, this part also is the clay, the modeling clay. The reason I chose that, it's a lot easier than trying to go and put with just about any other material in there. Okay, and yes, the clay does crack, and you can see the crack there. I'll probably come back over the next couple weeks, months, whatever, and I'll make some repairs, put some extra material in there. It's okay for now because this isn't going out on the road anytime soon. Uh, but over the next couple of months, when I have nothing better to do, I'll just pull this aside and make some additions or maybe alterations, if you will, as far as touching up scenery, getting things perfected, because I want to take this to a show, okay, and I want to win really, really bad. So I'm hoping that this is going to be my ticket for that. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to look at it. We're going to do some, different things to get it up to snuff. So, like I said, the outside edge and the inside underneath, which you can't really see, is the same clay that we've been using all along. And then it's obviously painted, and there's some senior material on it. I went and actually added some color to this because the inside, I wanted to differentiate the interior from the exterior. Okay, so everything out here is like, well, it's nicer, it's rosier. I'm probably going to come along and add some bushes to the outer edge or whatever, just to lighten it up a little bit. But the inside is going to be this gloomy-ish place, if that's a word even. But yeah, that's it. So we have it done. As far as, like I said, aside from touch-ups, and let me move this back. Sorry if I make you sick. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so we got it back in focus. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. That's our module for now. You see it's back to the beginning, and there's Madame Leota again. I'm still working on where I'm going to put the iPad for final placement. Some places look better than others depending on your angle of view, so that's something I'll figure out over the next, 7, 8 months, whatever, before this goes out on the road anywhere. So that's it. Okay, so that's our final video for this. There's more coming. I think I already have stuff lined up material-wise for the next module. I think I'll be starting this. So we're at the end of October. Excuse me. I probably will not be doing a new module till the beginning of next year. Reason being is I have to go and do some photography work. I'll be going away on a trip here to Florida very soon, so that gives you a clue as to what we're doing. And I need some research material. I have to go and take some photographs of the area that I'm going to be modeling next and be able to more accurately reproduce this area. I mean, you can only do so much from satellite pictures, okay? That's just how it goes. So that gives you a clue, excuse me, where we're going next. And with that, I will say thank you for viewing. Thank you for sticking with me for all this time, and your support is appreciated. And just remember, like, share, subscribe. If you got a comment on the build or questions, I'm always open for questions or suggestions. Speaking of suggestions, there was one thing I forgot. I thought about it this morning and I forgot about it. All right, can you believe that? Old age. I was thinking, and you could, if you could give me some feedback on it. I have a way to do this. I could drill a hole in the very back of this case here, and I could feed a couple of wires in for the lightning effect. And I'm not sure if I want to do that and just have the lightning effect, excuse me, like if you right behind on the back side of the haunted mansion, where you won't see it. It'll just be it'll just be a general lighting effect inside. Um, I think that might be something, and very easy to feed into because I already have the power, the power hub, if you will, underneath. So I'll just put feed the wire straight into it, and it's done. But let me tell you what you think. Do you think it needs it? Do you think it would be beneficial? Um, Let me know down in the comments. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up and see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.